The day my son looked me in the eyes and calmly told me it was time to move out of my own house, something inside me changed forever. He said he and his wife needed more space, wanted to renovate the house, and thought I would be happier in a senior living community. They spoke as if they were helping me, but every word made it painfully clear that I had become an inconvenience in the very home my late husband and I built with our own hands. That house was never just a building. It was where we raised our son, celebrated birthdays, survived hard times, and built a lifetime of memories together. We started with nothing but an empty piece of land, borrowed tools, and a dream. Every wall carried our fingerprints. Every room held a piece of our story. I gave everything I had to my family. I paid for my son's education, helped him through financial struggles, and even contributed to buying his first home. I never expected anything in return except love and respect. That night, I couldn't sleep. I opened an old drawer and found the original deed to the house. My name was on it. The house belonged to me. They could ask me to leave, but they couldn't take away what was legally mine. In that moment, I stopped feeling like a victim and started making a plan. The next morning, after my son left for work and his wife went out, I called my longtime friend Margaret, a trusted real estate agent. I asked her to quietly sell the house without telling anyone. No yard signs. No public listings. Only serious buyers who would appreciate the home's history instead of seeing it as another renovation project. While my son and his wife excitedly talked about knocking down walls and redesigning the house, I quietly packed the things that truly mattered. Family photos, my husband's journals, handmade quilts, treasured recipes, and a lifetime of memories. Everything else could stay behind. Several buyers came through, but none of them felt right. Some wanted to completely remodel the place. Others only saw profit. Then an older couple arrived. They admired the creaky staircase, smiled at the old peach tree in the backyard, and talked about preserving the home's character instead of changing it. They loved the house for what it was, and I knew they were the right people. I accepted their full-price offer without hesitation. Before I left, I placed a single envelope on the kitchen table with my son's name written on the front. Inside was the signed sale agreement and my realtor's contact information. No angry letter. No emotional goodbye. The paperwork said everything I needed to say. I stayed at a small motel while the sale was finalized. Within hours, my phone was flooded with missed calls and desperate messages. My son demanded to know why I had sold the house. His wife was furious because all of their renovation plans had disappeared overnight. They complained about losing their future, but neither of them asked where I was or whether I was okay. That silence told me everything. A few days later, I returned to the house one final time. To my surprise, my son was sitting alone in the empty living room. He looked exhausted and heartbroken. He asked how I could sell the house without giving him a chance to stop me. I looked at him and quietly said, "I already know what it feels like to lose a home without warning because you made me feel like a stranger in my own house long before I ever sold it." For the first time, he had no answer. Tears filled his eyes as he admitted he had stopped seeing me as a person and had only thought about his own future. He apologized and said he truly believed he was helping me. I told him I hadn't sold the house out of revenge. I sold it because I refused to disappear quietly while someone else planned my life. Soon after, I moved into a small, peaceful cottage where every corner belonged to me. Life became simple again. I spent my mornings reading, gardening, and enjoying the silence I had forgotten I deserved. Weeks later, my son came to visit with flowers in his hands instead of demands. He apologized again, and this time I believed him because his actions finally matched his words. Looking back, selling that house was never about money. It was about reclaiming my dignity. I spent decades putting everyone else first until they forgot I was still living my own life. Walking away was the hardest decision I ever made, but it became the best one. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't getting revenge. It's choosing yourself, protecting your peace, and proving that your worth has never depended on anyone else's permission. The day I sold my home, I didn't lose my life. I finally got it back.